President Obama announced 2 years ago he would restrict the NSA's eavesdropping on allied heads of state. But the Wall Street Journal now says the United States kept some friendly leaders under watch, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And the Journal reports the NSA surveillance on Netanyahu ended up sweeping up some private communications from members of Congress. Dan Raviv is a national correspondent for CBS Radio News and the author of several books on Israeli intelligence and Israel-U.S. relations in our Washington bureau. Dan, good to talk to you.
Hey, Contessa, got a big story tonight, absolutely.
You know, one of the most incredible things about this is that even when the White House and the NSA came under fire for eavesdropping on the likes of Angela Merkel in Germany, the White House came forward and said, look, we're not going to do that anymore unless there's a compelling national security interest. And they clearly thought that that was the case with Israel and with Benjamin Netanyahu, who was not prime minister at the time, correct?
Well, yes, and frankly, there are many reasons. One is where Israel is located, the Middle East, where everything's hot, you know, ISIS all around, the Syrian civil war, Iran not far away. But, you know, more than anything, here in Washington, where I'm sitting right now, this dispute with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu was red hot earlier this year, and Netanyahu was trying to whip up members of Congress to oppose one of President Obama's most cherished achievements, the nuclear deal with Iran. So according to this Wall Street Journal report, when Netanyahu's conversations were monitored, intercepted, eavesdropped upon by the NSA, and the National Security Agency gave the White House some of the intercepts, some of those conversations were with members of Congress and with American Jewish groups, kind of plotting strategy. How can we defeat that Iran nuclear deal? That means there's a big political angle to this because, you know, just about every Republican was against the Iran nuclear deal, as well as some Democrats. Not to mention, friends of Israel will say that, we showed you, President Obama doesn't trust and doesn't like Israel. And the members of Congress, they're going to be really upset that the White House was reading this.
Just to be clear and to be fair, Israel's spying on the United States as well.
Well, they say not spying against the United States, not spying in the U.S., since Jonathan Pollard was caught as an American spying for Israel here in 1985. Ironically, Pollard was recently released from federal prison, allowed out early instead of serving his life prison. So, listen, friends spy against each other, that's true. And Contessa, you used the phrase the compelling national security reason. For the Obama administration, having this nuclear deal with Iran, trying to prevent Iran from having a nuclear bomb, you know, is absolutely important to America's national security. So if Israel was trying to block that deal, then the White House thinks it had to know about it. Now, right now, you're showing one quote from the Wall Street Journal that says the White House, according to the Journal, didn't ask for the intercepts. But frankly, when the NSA sent them over, the White House said, well, we didn't tell them to do it, but look at this. And they obviously read it with high interest.
We didn't say don't do it either. A 2011 NSA directive says that lawmakers' direct communications with foreign intelligence agents should be destroyed, but the NSA director has the authority and the wherewithal to overturn that if he thinks it's that important. And again, we know that the nuclear deal with Iran was of utmost priority to the Obama White House.
Yeah, as they saw it. Now, we do have reaction already from the White House. Officials aware of the Wall Street Journal report say, listen, we have nothing against Israel. In effect, the response is no administration has done more than the Obama administration to help Israel's anti-missile programs, intelligence sharing, all sorts of support for Israeli security. And you see the quote, President Obama has said repeatedly, the U.S. commitment to Israel's security is sacrosanct. But on the other hand, the officials are not denying the Wall Street Journal report. And I feel that it rings true that with Israel's prime minister trying to overturn the deal with Iran, the White House felt it had to know what Israel was doing.
Well, certainly, you know, who's going to be very furious about this are the lawmakers who know they had direct communications with Israeli leaders, and there is certain to be pushback on Capitol Hill. We'll be waiting for that. Dan Raviv, thank you so much.
Okay, Contessa.